Profound statements from the Akashic Records, recorded Sunday 17th of January 2016. The colour royal blue is the colour of the breath of life. The breath of God animates all life everywhere. Breatharianism is the ability to live without food and live on prana alone. Breatharianism is a progression of spiritual development. Breatharianism is a spiritual development that cannot be forced. The more you move into God's bliss, the less you are interested in food. You can starve to death if your consciousness is not ready for breatharianism. There are immortal yogis who are true breatharians, who live in seclusion and remain in constant ecstasy and in full communion with God Source. Many immortalists are breatharians, but there are some who do consume some herbs. Breatharianism is not desirable in our average present state of consciousness, but it is attainable in our lifetime. Breatharianism is a form of sustenance from prana itself. When in a physical form, we need the breath of God to keep us alive. An evolved soul can be born to live off prana, but in general, children's biology is not evolved to live without food. The animal kingdom represents the lower chakras. Therefore, animals could not be breatharians at their level of consciousness. Breatharianism comes from purifying the lower or animal nature. The decision to live off God's love alone is different to living off prana. The breath of God is a living necessity and is the rhythm of creation. Breathing is the divine spirit that keeps us in form. When divine breath leaves our body, our spirit also leaves. Breath is not an addiction, it is a necessity. We won't know true joy until we stop consuming other beings. Source is all accepting of where we are right now. When our beliefs and needs are replaced by God's love, we will know true joy and bliss. Original life forms on earth were divine in nature, but much digression has taken place over the eons. Original life forms on earth lived off God's love. We do have the ability to live many hundreds of years, but our unconscious death urge causes our early death. You can begin breatharianism by looking into your cravings and your perceived needs. Meditation is a great way to begin the process of living off God's light. Killing an animal for food allows for the intention of perceived survival, whereas murder has ill intent. There is no judgment in God's Source about eating or consuming in general. Source assures us that eventually all life will evolve to remember God's love and joy. Everybody is right at the level of consciousness that they're at. Everybody is safe in God's love despite being in their lower nature. True ascension is something that happens from within. True ascension is an actualization and a realization of the God within. The organs of digestion are a state of consciousness in a particular environment. The organs of digestion take on a higher nature once a human becomes a breatharian. The life force principle creates an apparatus so it can survive in its environment. There are many planets in the universe whose inhabitants are light beings. On the level of a disincarnate spirit, the consciousness may still crave its addictions. A pure spirit does not consume energy. Spirits can recreate their desires in other dimensions. Levels of consciousness manifest as levels of evolution. Breatharians have heightened intuition, strength, and sensitivity from not having to digest food. The quality of light in a Breatharian is higher and purer. A Breatharian can taste air and see, hear, and sense higher states. Like attracts to itself that which it is. Because God Source loves all creation, it allows all life to simply be. Breatharians live longer than people who eat meat and vegetables. We use much energy in the process of digestion and elimination. Breathing air is electrical in nature and allows us to be more in the present moment. Aging and deterioration slows down in a Breatharian. Living off the bliss of God and living off Prana are two different things. God Source wants all creations in all systems to be in paradise, realizing God's love. The purpose of earth life is to actualize God Source in our human body and world. We strive to experience the love of God, but we forgot we don't have to die for this to happen. Heaven can be achieved in this body and in this dimension.
You've been listening to Answers from the Akashic Records, a world of empowerment service from Aingeal Rose Ahonu. To get the profound statements from the Akashic Records in your mailbox each week, log on to worldofempowerment.com.